Welcome back to yet another edition of Dorkas versus Centenary. Centenary datwagiyitanga Serudebu, Centenary Rural Development Bank. Nendoza kati yakyuka ndaba ne ku gundi zaabwe zonna kuliko Centenary Bank. Centenary Bank doli yasooka yasooka nga yikweta kali kantu alina erinnyawo nejjanga bwetyo nekula netuuka ku kyetuuseeko kubanga kati bank nene, bank ey'omuntu wa bulijjo, bank ekoze kyonna ekisoboka. It is an indigenous bank. Ng'oggyeko kiri kye nasoose naye programu yasooka nabagamba nti indigenous banks owned banks wano bannannyinizo bazibbye, endala zirimu ezisurviving z'aba foreigners. Nendoza nabadde nerabidde Centenary eyo. Centenary is indigenously owned here. So bagezezzaako okuba nti batuuka ku muntu wa bulijjo, ntuuka mu banking halls zaabwe, bali system zammwe nnungi nnyo. Naye waliwo embeera eddaffe bwe twalabanga omuntu akola mu URA nga si mugagga, nga tetumutegeera bulungi, nga tumanyi omuntu oteeka okukola ki. Ate nga tukitegereka because we are not even as a community nga tetuli offended kubeera nga tetubalaba nga ababbi. Okitegeera kubanga omuntu asolooza omusolo wali badde luyali osasulwa ssente zimala obutakemebwa kubba ssente zaki z'omusolo. So twakitwalanga bwe tutyo era ndowooza up to now abantu ba URA you command respect kuba tusuubira okuba nti mukola omulimu munene okukuŋŋaanya emisolo era tubasuubira okuba nti musasulwa bulungi. Bwe mba temusasulwa bulungi kya bulabe. So kakati ate mu banks waliwo abagamba nti oli mu loans section nga toyina ttaka, kakati mwe muli babbi. Ekitegeera nti kubanga olw'okuba nti nno nti bobeera mu loans section basi abantu basinga amataka gaabwe, you think nti oteekeddwa okuba n'ettaka kubanga olina okusuuza. Ntegeerekeka. So ekintu ekyo mukyawule abantu eno mu perception yaffe mu public tukiraba bulala. Ekyokubeera nti gwe commissioner wa lands mu police tekikufuula nannyini byalo. You get it? Awo kimanye nti no nti ofunye ettaka eryo oba ofunye properties ezo nga ozizimbidde ku maki ku maziga g'abantu. Waliwo abagagga babiri wano, naye omu ye Karim, omulala sijja mwogera kamuleke. Naye oyo gwe soogedde yawola Karim sente, kati alina omuze gw'okuggyako amasimu nga oli atuusiza okusasula. Kati Karim yali yawaayo Avema ogimanyi? Kati gayi neyeebuzaabuza, tegeerekeka, neyeebuzaabuza simanyi yagenze ludda wa, yagenze bweru. Karim n'asala amagezi gonna okumunoonya, naye bwe yamukwasa yamugamba nti Avema gy'olaba, amataffaali g'olaba, musaayi, nagizimbisa musaayi. Simanyi kyeyali ategeeza. Ekitegeeza ng'agezaako kumulaga nti it is out of sweat, natuuyana natuba. Bwe Avema gy'oyagala okutwala obutwazi bw'otyo oba wampola obusente bwo. You get it? So abantu kati abakola mu banks tubalabanga ababbi kubanga gw'ogamba nze bwe mandi mu loan section nteekeddwa okuba saabataka, nina okuba n'amataka. You get it? Oba n'ettaka eringi. I mean awo wetufunira enjawulo wakati w'omukozi wa URA tumusuubira okuba omugagga kubanga asolooza misolo, tumusuubira okusasulwa obulungi aleme kubba misolo. Omuntu akola mu banka mu loans whatever section tetumusuubira ate kubeera n'amataka, okitegeera, oba na properties nyingi kubanga bwe tusuubira bwe tutyo tuba tukwagala obbe ebintu byabaki by'abantu. So tukyagenda mu maaso ne bad deals banks do. Nkyali ne Dorkas Komujuni, nze Stanley Ndugu Ndawula, the investigator as usual, the gun that fire, not the one for hire. You need to note that. Nsanyusa okubeerako nammwe neera tugende mu maaso n'okusubscribinga n'okutuwa feedback eyo oluvannyuma lw'okusharinga. Kulikayo nsanyusa okulaba nate. Dorkas lwe twasembye mu kitundu kyaffe ekyasoose nga tumanya Dorkas yani. Kati amazima gennyini Dorkas twamutegeddeko kumpi 80% of Dorkas tumumanyi. We twatuukidde twasiriikiriddemu era ne tuggalira abo nga tuggyeyo n'ebiki n'ebisiimuula ne twoza ku munye ntegerekeka. Obulamu omuntu omulaba n'atambula n'omwegomba n'ogamba omusajja oyo omukyalo oyo yatuuka. Nze ntera ogamba abantu tewenneegomba kuba Mukama n'akwazikamu obulamu bwange okumala ewiiki emu tukusanga ku mulabba nga weetuze. Okitegeera abantu balina gye bavudde. Kakati okiraba wano naye ebimu bwe tubijjukira emyoyo gyaffe gituluma. Bikaabya ntegerekeka. So ke kaseera ako ke twatuuseemu nga sirina kyakukola okugyako okuggalawo obugazi program. So Dorkas akomyewo kati mugumu muzibu. Biri biba kujjukira nina akayimba nkakuyimbiremu kabalokole. Abalokole sijjukira bulungi kwaye yakayimba oba manyi okunzijukiza bajja kunzijukiza. Kagamba ebyobulumi ebikaabya bwe bitulumba tuba bubi ne tulumwa. Obuyinike bubaawo amaziga ne tukaaba naye Mukama sangudde amaziga tuzizzaamu amaanyi tuli bapya tugenda mu maaso Mukama yakulembeddemu. Kakuzaamu amaanyi kati tuli bapya biri tubibuddemu tugenda mu maaso nga Mukama yakulembeddemu. Komujuni mukazi mulokole, mukazi businessman akolereyo wansi mu nayo eyo teba ghetto downtown.
Ghetto y'obusuubuzi. Yeah.
So kakati tugenda kusimbula wenyiri omwami saagala nnyo kumanya mannya ge akugambye ebyo bibyo genda onoonya abantu bokola ki bogabira omwana something like that. Kakati nkulaba kati oli kululwo.
Yeah.
I want us to know how you took that strong firm stand n'ogamba kati nsimbudde. Waffe tulinayo ekibiina bagamba tusimbudde bukaluba si butandikeko. Kati oli butandiseeko. Let us proceed from there. Beera n'emirembe. Bw'owulira okaabamu ng'okaaba, bw'owulira oyagala kuseka ng'oseka. Tugende mu maaso.
After the statement, all the people I meet in my life, actually, one of my cousins, Patricia, once told someone that I'm bipolar. I don't think I'm bipolar because I had to think so hard about it. I looked for someone of recent, Naguja Mariam.
Patricia looked you into the face and agamba.
No, she told someone and at one point confronted me because they.
But you talked to Patricia as your sister.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's now a sister. Like she is a sister. Yes. So why have I said that? They always think I am someone. They call them mood swings. But in my life, I'm someone who values Dorkas more than anything else. So why did I say that? Because when I met Mariam, I explained to Mariam, actually of recent, I think.
Who is Mariam now?
Naguja, coach, is a life coach or something. So I looked specifically for her. She's always attentive. And purposely it was to ask her because I was going through something. Am I sick? I'm explaining to her my life because I feel I easily lose out people in my life. So she told me, no, you have a certain character that a very few people out of 100%, only like 2% have that character. So Chovolaba, all through I was telling you, Mia, the strong-willed character, yeah, where you feel like people in life do beseech. Is it how they call it? They pretend go to cheater. Nti mbela ne Mr. Ndaula. Even when I'm not comfortable. Even when they step on my, I have to be down because I want something out. And that is not me. Like obaba kuita sebuya. Everywhere I've passed. So
2%.
That is what she told me. So when Alan told me that, I was like, go to hell. Okay? And I'm like, this is my child. I don't know where I got the courage. This is my child. And I'm going to produce this child. I didn't know my left from right, but I told myself, Onumana, ninda ate wange. And I'm going to make it. I didn't tell anyone. Went into that house I'd rented. Nimbala sente zenaina. Ngamba kumyezi mwenda. Kumyezi mwenda. Ngenda nyino okuyita wano. Kumyezi mwenda bwemba wakuzaala nomale. Ngenda kusasula sente bwezi. If it's Caesar, then I plan my life. But one thing I did.
Wazibalanga ziwera.
Nenzi budgetinga nengamba nti kati ngenda kubeerawo.
Zali zikumala.
Then that is what my mind was telling me. But tezimala because you have daily movements. But one thing I remember is, I think Alan had come, the time he had come home, yaina laptop. Yeah, I confiscated that laptop, nenjitunda. Najitunguza neighbor wange actually ne sente na nezifuka za lutalo okunsasula, but it was around 800,000. Ningamba kati zino. It has to shop, you know, that case. So I was in that house. Remember, I got pregnant before we graduated because I'd just come. So time for graduation, February. So
kumulimo bakuwandiseko report. Bakuwandiseko report baganya okuwa gundi.
I had to go and explain, and I'm like, I'm not explaining anything.
That very week, gundi Alan yakutabukira.
Yes.
Okay.
So I am alone, but I feel I'm okay. So time for graduation, my sister tells me, actually then my sister comes, Yajane Patricia, then I explain to her. So I remember my sister made a statement, and up to now, I think I wasn't hurt but by literally what Alan said, but the statement my sister said, because she said, when she knew young Ambanti, Wadyolo was okufunira Alan olubuto, you would tie him down. I was like, oh my God. Literally, I was not even thinking about all that, because then I think there was no exposure.
Yes, sister. Ogame sister?
My sister, the one I follow.
Nga yalaba nti kali kamasu.
That was her statement, why she said it. I've never asked her. But all through, I think she had always met Alan, clubs and all that. I don't club, and she does. And I think, actually, my siblings don't like Alan at all. So, you know. So, but she told me, you must tell mom. Like, you must tell her, because she has to know she's your mother. You have to go home, you have to graduate. But I told myself, because I knew my mother would kill me. I'm getting pregnant out of wedlock. So I knew my mother would kill me. No one should even ask me about the father or something. So they convinced me. I went home for graduation. I was pregnant. And
Mommy understood.
She just looked at me. Because she was seated like in the sitting room, twaberangawo na katebe buno around, like in Tero Blaba on Masaka Road. So, simanyi they are around like this, eh? They have cross legs.
Stools.
Those one. So she's seated because we have a wardrobe like ngoyingira bwoti, so she's seated nentula wansi kutaka. So nemutulanga wano. Bakuyita mu nkwawa. So I'm like, I'm pregnant. I think they had told her, but she didn't want to show me that she knew. I'm like, I'm pregnant. But don't ask me anything. Don't. This child is mine. Don't ask me. And she never asked. Did me a very big graduation party. The money that I was...
Now that you're a parent, do you figure out what she felt? I've
never told my mother sorry.
You have never?
I've never apologized for betraying her.
So she threw you a big party?
Yeah.
Even after that?
Yeah, and literally because all through, my siblings always say that my mother loves me so much. So I don't know how true that was. Because growing up, I thought my mother, because she was always tough. So, I always told my mother I would buy her a limousine. And I saw me fail her. Because I remember on my graduation, I told her, I still promise that I will buy you that limousine. And I still believe that I would achieve that from my mother. I've never told her sorry for her sacrifices she made, and here I am, I became a prodigal child, getting pregnant out of wedlock. I ended up coming back to Kampala after the graduation, but the money I was given as gifts.
I think getting pregnant out of wedlock should not be an issue to her. But the way you...
It is, because every parent, now that I'm a mother, would want to see her child flourish. I have graduated. She expects maybe a wedding.
Yeah, people make mistakes, but the way you act after. So I think you're right. You need to go back to mom. That's limousine sijayagala, I believe.
So the money I was given on my graduation as gifts, nazibala. Actually, nali mpeza oba emitwalo 8. Nenzija nenzongera kuzenyina. Remember now, I feel I'm alone. So I am saving. Yes, I'm saving. So I'm in Kampala. But kurugendo rwango Ruston Big Bank, I met someone. He was a customer. In Masaka, yali akola mu Unra, Sharif. So, see how God works. Mu butuufu ntegeera Katonda n'obulokole, because I studied in Muslim schools all through senior 6, nali n'ebika biki. So at some point nasiramuka. Naye bwe namala campus kati nkomyewo wakati wali musiraamu kati ndiawo. So after the abandonment and all that, and come back, natulanga mu nyumba yange because I'm not working, nentekako LTV. LTV ekiro wabeerangawo Joyce Meyer preaching, and Joyce Meyer and TD Jakes. TD Jakes, Bishop TD Jakes. Every night, LTV.
Hey, TD Jakes.
Yes.
But then the TB just.
No.
TD Jakes.
Yes. So I would
humorous.
sit in the house. Kuva sawa nga 5 nempuliriza enjiri. Kuba nebakanga sawa 9 na bulwango otulo. Nenkaba. And I want to disagree with the doctors that stress ejamu olubuto. I get emotional after I leave home after graduation, looking at what my mother had done. So coming back to Kampala, I come with a burdened heart. So natulanga mu nyumba nempuliriza enje mu kifo ky'okuli ebigambo. Now I would moan. I don't call it cry. I would moan. I would cry. I would talk to King ngali mu lubuto, and I always told God, you never blessed me with a chance to see my father because yafa ndi muto. I grew up without a father figure, but please give me a boy so that he becomes my dad, he becomes my friend, and becomes my everything. And God answered my prayer. So I remember my mom came, I think, ntuuka okuzaala. My mom was there. And throughout my entire journey, God brought me a miracle. I think mukukaaba mukusaba Mukama nanzijukira. Olubuto lwange balwalirwa myezi ng'etaano, because I remember I had a neighbor. I tell her nagenda mu Owino ne shoppinga.
Ololiruda.
Chireka. I used to stay in Chireka. Ne shoppinga nengamba nti kati shoppinze. Ne overall bichi nemanya nti kati nkoze shopping ewedde kati kuzaala kati nenjijako sente ne savinga wali nengamba kati, because I think I had 3 million. Then I'm like million emu ne bwenzaala like not normally, I can't stay. Then I'm left with, I got 500, went downtown, did all the shopping, and I'm like, okay, now I can produce. So stayed with 1.5. Remember, I have rent and all that, and I didn't care. I'm alone. But when Sharif called me, he's like, oh, hey, Yavichi is still with Stanbic. I think he needed over what? Then I'm like, no. Where I am, like, I'm no longer working something, and Sharif was my guardian angel. Abatakkiriza
akatunda kayaya kakano ngoza bakulengedde ne bagamba oketaaga.
So I saw God pass through someone. I got money. Sharif didn't know where I was staying. And I've never looked at him in the face and asked him why he liked me that much, because he only saw me around twice, his account like that. So the same thing I told you about Tonku, God blesses me actually. I would take time and look for him. So me who had saved some money, now I live luxurious. Because I would get 700, I would get what?
Wait, who is Sharif? Yali customer?
When I'm meeting in Masaka Bridge, yes. So he calls me when I'm then I was selling fixed deposit deposit account. So I explained to him. He did not buy into it then, but he promised he would call. He calls me when I'm 5 months pregnant after almost a year. So, hey, how we be? I'm home and all that, and hey, can you come to Masaka? I'm like, I'm not okay. I don't have transport. So he would send money, and unfortunately, God forgive
for you
me.
to go to Masaka.
I never turned up. Yes, and I never turned up. So, but I know.
Until you were pregnant?
Up to now, I don't think whether he knows I have a child. So, so no, only twice because I think what did he want? He wanted to, he felt he did not trust anyone in the bank too. So he wanted me to come, and I think he was trying to do something about fix or something. So I never turned up.
He better do it with somebody.
But I did not, yes, but I did not explain to him why I could not turn up. I found an excuse to lie about it. God forgive me. So, but after he would keep, hey, hi Richie, I'm home and all that. So that is how I get through my time. No.
Mugara yetwegatiddwako omusajja bamuyita kyali njo mujenyi.
So now I get to put to bed. My mom was there, and thank you, mom, because I know you will watch this. I produce. I still had money because someone was giving me money. So King comes into my life. And the funny bit is, King's dad was in hospital that time I put to bed. So, and he brought all his friends. Huh?
Was in the hospital?
Yes.
The
time I was in the labor. Hey. What? My mom told me, now you're going to be a mother. So you're going to put emotions aside. This child that is coming into the world needs a father.
Needs you. Needs a father.
Yes. And he told me some, actually I'm going to say it in Nyankole. Akajati ebikebumwe, some cultures. Oyinza okutuuka okuzaala.
Kyogere mu Lunankole.
Like some
yogera mu Lunankole, yogera olugero.
I flow a little bit of more English than my language, so ebikebumwe no wasakukomleba wad kuzaala olemwe kuzaala. Like the man has to be there, yeah? So he's like mweshiko hiko kalemerwa omuleba wad akanja to kuzaala. I'm going to put it in English because in Yankole it comes out a little bit weird. It's not like going into the loo and then you're going to shit, like, yeah? It means death. You might come out, you might not come out. So before you get into that situation, I want you to free your heart. I want you to enter that labor suit with a free heart.
Go sonye.
Like with a free. So he insisted and called the King's dad. So he came around. He actually paid for the hospital. Me who had saved money to pay for my hospital bill, he paid for the hospital bill, drove us home. And the one who said, Olubuto Suruange, would come every evening and sit to carry the child. So,
sometimes abasajja bakikola maybe never kubate bamanyi ndowooza buzitowe kibekyeka ku mukazi, maybe to be very sure, because singa si yali yet mwali balete mumukubira. I think now you had chosen, yamanya that you had chosen him as the father.
My statement, my message to him, I wish he has it right now. When he told me the bullshit, I told him, I don't give a hoot about you. Yeah. Whether I think this child is not yours or yours, this is my child because I'm carrying it. But I will want you the day I put to bed only to do a DNA test. I didn't even know then whether DNA test, just to confirm to this child, yeah, that I'm not a slut. Because he told me, they told me you have been having an affair with your bosses, so go tell your bosses. Because I was so close with my bosses there. So I'm like, to show you that I'm not a slut, I want to confirm to you that this is your child. And after then, you can go die.
You can disappear.
no, God die. Like, so. So King is in this world. King became Joy. Now the story changes. I'm no longer bitter. Yes, we had scuffles. One, because King, I think, was around 3 months or something, he wedded. And he wedded...
so he never came back as a husband and father?
No.
He just came back in your lives as a...
Father. King. So he wedded. And he wedded because my mom tells me that the girl is a cousin because he wedded Emma Bona, the then MP of Mbara. And then my mother was given an invitation card.
Okay. Mujoga.
But I appreciate the process. To every lady out there, the process, it's called a process. It makes us who we are. So I was not working, I was getting some money and all that, and then now King's dad would come in, he would come with some shopping and put it there and buy Pampers and so...
Thank you, Alan.
So when King was around 6 months, we again a little bit drifted apart. And my mom came home and I remember she told me, because now I think I tried going to police, I went to court and all that, and all that. I think then my bitterness and my anger and my pain came into play, yeah? Because my questions were, I was also someone's child. And then, because I remember...
dragged Alan to court?
Yeah. Because then, after the whole thing of the wedding
preparing to look after your son?
He again disappeared after his wedding. Now, you know, we say all that, but not until anger and bitterness comes in. Now, the anger and bitterness comes in. I look at my mom, I look at myself, I graduated, my mother. Actually, what hurt me the most is the disrespect of giving my mother an invitation
Maybe
card.
That one.
So I'm like, how dare you? Yeah. My mother struggled to bring me up. Because I remember telling God, I was in my house and I told God, Alan dropped me because I was not someone's child. Make me someone for the sake of my child, so that no one ever looks down on King. So when we went to court, my mom got to hear about it. My mom comes and asks me,
drop the charges.
Very bitterly, and asked me, because I remember I even met Alan, told Alan, don't mix this child in your stupidity. Because he did not ask both of you to bring him into the world, and whatever happened between you and Dorkas, yeah? Actually, my mom said, that fool. King never asked for it, okay? He told me, actually, I can arrest both of you. So my mom asked me, are you lame? Are you crippled? Get up and go and work. So bitterly. And she asked me, did your father ever buy you a pen? Do you have any of your father's clothes? Yeah? Haven't you grown up? She's like, I didn't bring you up. She told me I didn't bring you up to come into this world to become stupid. You're not a beggar. Get up, go and work.
No, Rwana je kampala nyamufumbira luwombo.
And I got up. She told me, find where to put a child, wake up, go and work. I got up. I remember there is a friend that had come to see me, used to work with Ms. Marunji. I used to sell him perfume, so before he called me, and you still have the other perfume? I'm like, okay, I'll get that one. So So I got that one. Actually, I remember I got a maid, got the perfume out of the money I had. So when he came to pick it, he gave me money. I remember he gave me 100K. I used that 100K to enter Owino. So now we come kati tutandika olugendo lwange. Ningira Owino.
Mami agambye situka.
Yeah, she told me I'm not
crippled.
No, she told me you're not a beggar. I have never begged in my life. And I don't want to see my child become a beggar. Yes. I enter Owino. Nzijukira nasuubula essaati nazigula gumu kitundu. How many were they? I think I got around 9 or 10 or something. I brought them. My first customer was still Edson. He bought. Who is Edson? The guy that gave me. Yes, I have a perfume. Numga wine. Edson. Yes. Nagozanga nagaleta I wash iron. Edson had come to see King because Nalinza nga King. He bought those shirts. Actually, I think I sold them at 30-30. The profits I made out of that money went back to Owino. Nensubula amasaati. The next person I sold those shirts was
Alan.
No. Nandi uses. Then I was bitter. But one of Alan's friends, because they used to work together, still called Alan. Working in UBL. Working in UBL. I called him, he came around, hey, what's that? Because some of the friends knew me and they were concerned because they had seen us come when he didn't have a job and all that. I remember Alan bought around 6 shirts. So my story starts then. Alan. So I started with the people that were in my phone. So olugendo lutandika ntandise nokola sente. I found there was money, there was good profits. Excuse me. Then I upgraded. How do I upgrade from being home to my aunt got me a maid. The maid was young and good, so I leave him. Now I start okutembeya. There is something you mentioned, and about the so-called beauty. I moved. I would go to Owino. The people who know me will testify. Nenfuna backpack. Nganjoza amasaati gange, my maid would then wash. Netugagolola nengateeka mu nsawo. Nentambula ku bigere okuva ekireka. Nentandikira mu bonds. Actually, naitanga ku Centenary because there was a Centenary. Ekireka like opposite na Katare because my home was there near. I would do a panya, go there. Mwensokera, nentembea. I walk, navigate. I'm a graduate. No. I mean like I'm not doing a taxi or a border.
Because you are going to work.
I'm a graduate. I worked with corporate companies. But after King coming into the world, saddayo kunonya milimu. I hustle. So nga ntambula nentandikira ku bonds zino, yeah. Okuva nabisunsa. I go marketing, bwentunda, nentambula, Premier Complex, then waliwo umeme. I sell. Now I go to Pepsi. So, but I didn't enter Pepsi. I get a chance. UNBS was there in that place then. So UNBS became a good deal. I met people. I made friends. There was a gentleman called Kiwanuka, John. He changed my life. I think he was a single father then, and then I remember his question was like, why are you doing what you're doing? I'm like, I have a child and all that. And then Kiwanuka would make sure, because then UIRI, Uganda, is it called something about manufacturing? There is there is a company in there. They make bread and what mega yogurt something is in there. Now Yuri, is it Yuri? Yes. He would buy a jerry can of yogurt every day for King and bread. And every day he would tell me, you're going to become something big. Kati mvaku backpack ntandika mfune ensawo like enenene sort of traveling. Kati ngandetamu ebintu bingi. I now start moving on a border because I know where I'm going. So put things in there. Kati siri kusati zoka. I do, because they would send me for different stuff. So I make connections. I got someone. He would give me shoes over zilimu million. Bigenda musoke actually. No, downtown. I make. Yeah, so Carlos became my biggest. Actually, my son loves Carlos so much. Carlos comes to meet my son when he's around 6 years. He would give me stuff. 10.5. So akwatanga engato ze nazijja mu dduuka nampa genda otunde onde nanne sigasimuwadde deposit koze eki. So we developed a relationship like so close. So kati nga stationinga mu UNBS nenteekaawo nenfulumamu kati ni bonds ezo jumbo coin and all that. So after on my movement, now I go nenjagala nenyingira mu URA. I entered URA.
Abatubuliza ngagenda kutundayo ngoye kutembeya.
Kutembeya engoye mu URA for around 3 to 4 years.
Wow.
Mvaku bigere, I buy a car. Yes, border. Now I am buying a car. I buy a car while in URA. In URA, I enter how Tebakinza cooking.
Why don't my customers come URA?
Now, the main entry into URA, because they don't accept this, I enter and I say I'm just going to pick something. Then intelligence was when you enter, Katijeba Zimba, the big offices there. So on entry like this, I meet an intelligence officer called Joel. Joel welcomed me. I remember Naina jeans and what he bought, then introduced me to, there were around 8 in Sadayona Chintu, and they are giving cash.
Joel.
Along the way, Joel gets to know me, and Joel is Alan's cousin. So he's King's uncle. So he takes me, like he made a pass for me at the gate. Yes.
You are related?
Yeah.
Related kumwana
wange, because for him he knew the whole wedding and all that, and then so oh my God, up to now Joel, we everything, even the stupidest thing, I would call Joel and we chat about it. So I meet intelligence, they became my other family. Kati mukama ansonyiwe kati ala n'olwo muziise mwelabidde, I am getting money. I'm telling you. So I have my child and I see what mom said, and then I get people like everywhere I moved. Me, if you see me, I first introduce King. Even you, when you saw me, yeah, my tag. So Billy, I remember King's birthdays were celebrated by URA. They would give me money to celebrate King's birthday.
Wow.
So ne tuzikwata. I remember at some point someone gave me 400,000. I take it in that. So my journey, very many people actually today they will get shocked because they thought I was working with URA. But I always tell people I was working in URA.
Space.
I got space because there are some kiosks, mobile money and all that. So there is a lady and she's a Mnyankode, so she gave me space too. Like I turned into a store.
Do you think if she was Muganda or Mutoro or whatever, did you have to mention she was Mnyankode?
Yeah, because we flew very fast because of that. Peace would not trust you. You get? But because they waberanga wobu forms. Yes. So waberanga wobu forms. Most of the Banyankole then would sit there. Walimu Omwami Bafachi, the late, he was an MP of is it Nyabshot something? He passed on. So I get into a family. Not only now I get into the agencies and all that, but some of them were first a little bit skeptical about me. People thought Nali Mbega. Yeah. So even when I moved, the people would be like, reason I told you I hate the word beautiful, because people have misused that and ladies are getting misled by the word beauty. People think that when you're beautiful, you're supposed to be loose. No. Because everyone would be like, why are you doing this? Why like
but me, I don't call it beautiful. I think it is because but it is the looks.
Auntie, people think that because everyone will be like, no, you can't be doing this. I'm like, no, beauty doesn't put food on my table. Yeah.
Now the problem is most girls in town, it's beauty that puts what they call beauty. But any man will tell you beauty is
doesn't put food on the table.
Your looks.
They don't put food on the table.
Your looks do not.
They waste you.
But
there is a difference between the two.
But nabuza ko mwana omuwala ne mugana ekati gwe natukira mu myaka egino gye tulimu nambuza mbu nga nnoonyaayo ki. Can you imagine? Girls are even ready to die young.
No. So people would be like, Ori Mbega. And then they would get shocked because I have marketed stuff because they felt like you are etebayingiza mugondi. And now I was doing it in the open. Then they told me, Major at some point asked the one who controlled security for URA. And at one point asked, who is that lady and all that? Then when they told me, as they had asked about me, then I looked for him. Until I got to his office. And I introduced myself. And now I'm getting protection.
Mama King.
No, I need to show I am, So now I am getting pass. Now I get to a car. I have now upgraded. So I would drive my car, park there, go enter every office, tell people, and then open. Then I flourished. And I buy my first property in 2006. I think it was 2006. But I'm buying property for King because every time I would sit and I'm like, okay, if I left today, if I left this world, where would I leave King?
Okay, which property?
I buy land. So after buying a car, I stood on the car because my mother always has this saying. She said, only a poor person buys a car to park it at someone's house. My mother brought us up nga atugamba omusiru ya gule motoka najiparkinga ku muzigo. So I became stupid. I bought a car before buying property, but I had to because now that was my...
But it was part of business.
Yes, but to my mother you will not say that.
Capital.
So I told this car that I remember I bought the car. I now buy a whole bale of clothes, shirts, necessary in the water. And I was going downtown to get trousers. So my cousin Patricia tells me, no, ngenda mu lunch hour. I think then Pastor Bujingo yali ali ku BAB-BAD. So she tells me, katusoke tuyite mu lunch hour kasito genda sawa munana, like let's go. Then because I didn't know how to drive downtown, so she was like, let's drive. Me, I'm going to drive. Then after bring you back and take a Nakawa. So I go to BAB-BAD accompanying my cousin. Nali sigenze kusaba. So service starts and as if pastor was speaking to me. So I was planning, drive the car, go to Mbara, take it to my mother, she blesses it and then all that. So after the service, they give anointing oil. So I get that anointing oil. You know, then I put on the car and I'm like, I bought you before I bought land. I have disappointed my mom, but you need to produce property that I have to show my mother. I don't know, for the ones who want to take my story, you can, but I drove to URA after the service and I sold literally everything. There were around 200 shots that day. So I don't know whether it came in my head or whether it was anointing all that. And then now that is my journey to Mukulokoka. The
Bible says you don't need to be a local or somebody, but a believer. The Bible says, "We munamanga n'okukiriza ojja kulagira olusozi olulubeewo."
Yes. Naye mulugendo
walina n'okukiriza.
No, olugendo luno nti olw'okukiriza lwogamba tulina abantu abatugaidinga. Yeah, we don't just come. So olugendo lwange olw'obulokozi we lutandika. So after then, I think I was taken up, I think, by the miracle that happened and all that. So I start now church and all that. And I get no. Up to now we are still, yeah, because every time would go. So
I mean, watuke chizanga tuwetaga na kuwerekerako Patricia genda kusaba.
Started at BAB-BAD because I think that January we were going to Canaan, so we start Canaan. So. And I saw God. I saw God come into my life. I saw God do stuff. And when tandiko olugendo lw'obulokozi kati nenjatula, because there is a difference between saying and then officiating it.
Okay, motoka n'ogiragamba olina okungulira property.
So in 1 year, yes. No, it was 2 in 1. I bought 2 in 1. I buy 2 plots of land, 2 in 1.
Wow.
Yeah. Katinga ziri manyaga, I put them in King's name and I'm like, God, this is so.
But King is a minor.
Yeah, on behalf.
Okay.
So I'm like, even when I'm not here, this is something. Even when I'm gone, this is King's property. Now after, I feel like I have grown up. Yeah, so I need to get a place to rent. My first trial for rent was at. Is it called H&M? Charm Towers, there is that building in between, yeah? So I only spent 3 months. Kati olugendo lwangu olw'okwewola lutandikira awo.
Okoze sente zo ku bigere ku boda n'omala n'ogula mmotoka etegere n'otambuliza n'otembeya engoye
n'engula property, yes.
n'omala n'ogula property nga tolina weweewoza n'omaliriza n'olabira omwana wo n'obeera ng'osanyusa maama kwegamba nga everyone is proud around you, abakuyambyeko bonna n'otuuka kakati nga owulira nti weetaaga okwewola kubanga weetaaga okugaziwa okole edduuka
nsooka kukola dduuka lwa nsonga buli we naleetanga ebintu kati ntandise ate okusuubulamu n'ebipya nzija downtown n'ensuubula ebipya because some people are like I don't put on second hand and then you find that at some point omanyi buli we tugenda nga tweyongera mu maaso we feel we need to be someone, we forget where we have come from. So now I start telling people I travel. I not traveled. Ebintu obijjawa because people need to hear. Because people need to hear brands and all that. So they would be like, I'm like, China, you know, you travel all that, and I'd never traveled.
Yeah,
so I am starting to now be what I am not because of pressure, you know.
Abatuuliza abatulaba tetugenda kusukka waawo. Tutandise olugendo kakati ndoza mutegedde Dorkas yani. Tulina kintu kyogenda mubuuza oyo anaatandika okunyumiza emboozi kati omanyi gyava gyenvuddewe omutegedde. So tetugenda kusukka waawo musasiro okusekera mu bintu bya omulokole okulimba abantu. Naye nga yabagamba mbo alinnyo nnyonyi azimaze amasaati g'abagira mu owino ng'abagamba agajja China. So which is good for business. Ne Bible yenyini egamba okulimba bwe kiba kyetaagisa naye etukkiriza kulimba nga weetaasa okitegera ng'otaasa bulamu. So njagala tukome wano Dorkas olunaku olwaleero tusanise nnyo okukulaba nkimanyi nammwe abali eyo nomala ntera okubaleetera abantu ne mutasooka kubitegeera bulungi naye mujja kitegeera because we are going to have as many stories like hers, as many as possible. N'ekirala tuleeta abantu wano kubanga we are living examples. Njagala okuddako emabega nti Dorkas teyali badde wano naye nali nnyumya ku mboozi ya mukulu Bitatuure ne mbabuuliramu kuba nze njagala nnyo okwegerezaako ne mbabuulira bwe neewolanga ssente nsasule landlord nga ssente ze neewola okusasula landlord sizikola mu magoba sina na misaala gy'abakozi, you get it, nga mbayigiriza mbagamba sikubayigiriza nga mbabuulira how I learned to let go. Ekitegeera bwe yawulira n'agamba ndowooza I need to go and tell my story, but lwakuba nti era still ate mu mbeera y'emu nga bank yali egezaako era ekyagezaako nga bwesobola okuddira ebintu ebyolayo byatambulidde olugendo lwonna n'abigula n'ebibeerawo kati nga bank egamba no, we need those properties. Abagamba yes, mwampola sente mbadde nsaba mbasasule, no, you cannot pay us, we need your property. N'obugambo obwo situgenda kusukkawo sanisa okubeerako naawe njagala obeere mugumu. You are helping life out there. You helping even yourself. Nawe mulimo gwo wena we wabagambire n'ogamba nti omuntu omukulu ennyo mbulamu bwe bamuyita Dorkas. So Dorkas has to be to feel good for okusobola okuinspiringa n'abalala okubeerawo. N'obugambo obwo Mukama abeere nammwe.